as when at each year's end, emperors in separate gender lines approach from opposite compass points, on returning single file to mate again at the exact same polar basin, as members of monogamous pairs recognize one another from their remembered calls, lean their affectionate necks and long beaks pointed upward, rubbed in graceful ballet. Later, the treacherous transfer of mother's egg to father's prehistoric feet. Before it crack and freeze, while beneath the ice, seals ever swim and wait for the famished female. Will walk for 70 miles in her short, as if skirt-hindered steps, back to the bountiful, deadly sea. To replenish her gullet with fish will feed her chick. It hatched beneath the male's protective feathered pouch, as he stands a convict shackled by the delicate shell and lifts it on his cold, resistant, claw-like nails for over 100 days with no sustenance, no relief, shuffling to seek at 40 below the 60 degrees above, comes from huddling among his patient kind as they gather against the pitiless Antarctic wind to preserve the species in another of Earth's disturbing, amazing displays.
I like that.
And this is at the farmer's market. Saturday mornings by 10, someone rings the bell for shopping to begin, when local farmers sell produce out of pickups, spread tomatoes and Oliphant garlics on tabletops, offer native garden plants. The man from Moody takes a customer's hand and rubs it softly with his special brand of emu oil, guaranteed to cure cracked skin. Other stands feature cheese, soy, flan, or German beef. But for kids, the big attraction is the animals' circus tricks begin in 15 minutes. As the unicyclist balances and plays his accordion to announce the performances, including one by Lauren Bacall, his party-colored parrot, perched on his shoulder, till every insistent tot tugging at his mother pulls her fingers towards the ringmaster's makeshift tent with its mongrel barks of the amazing chicken dog and jumping jack, will roll over, dance, scratch imaginary fleas, act out parts, daring commands, who feeds them treats after roles as pirate or picnicker, their feats most pets can't imitate. But these, distracted now by the purebred, passes near when their trainer clown calls time out, chases them into his van, switches to a serious illustration of the lesson learned in pre-calculus class, as he lifts from the plastic buckets see-through blue-pink detergent water mix strings looped with suds, till breeze it slowly inflates the spheres, seek mysterious equation of greatest space allowed, volume to radius. Then a yo-yo exhibition lets the audience see how an out-of-work mathematician with a bachelor's degree can walk the dog and recreate the Eiffel Tower, leaves all agog, afterwards rocks the cradle, declares his mother overdid it, joking it's why he's in this business, earns so little pay. But a teaching entertains. Even the adult crowd approves skills patience attains, proven by its loud applause. Then next juggles bowling pins while warns pedestrians as he pedals and beeps like horns from honking, backing trucks. And now finally brings Lauren home, whose tricks counting by flapping wings. All love her stuff, though when she bites another time, scolds, "Enough's enough, bow good night," and so to end gives his thank you speech, and to kids, bubble-blowing kits, one for each. A grapple's eye view of Lakeline Mall. With his paired black pupils set in irises yellow as a prospector's gold, he glares about and struts his stuff with his ebony feathers out of kilter, his head thrown back, his beak pointed to a summer sky, oblivious to teenage daughters, unhappy with a mother failed to buy the latest fad, unfazed by plastic bags filled with designer jeans, only drawn to bugs stuck on shiny grills as he sachets in among the parking lot's newest models, then hops onto an island with its single tree. The one will soon release a whistling chatter, with his prolific kind return to roost, their white droppings casting a fetid shadow as they splat windows and roofs, while shoppers long after dark search still for El Dorado. Jazz by the Boulevard. Yesterday, on a temporary outdoor stage, the Heritage, named for the Park Cities Bank, in recognition of and to honor this festival's money-lending sponsor, Marshall Ivory performed at 69, and today on the Coors Light Main, David Fathead Newman at 74 is holding forth. Marshall, having honked and swung on Star Eyes, Bag's Groove, and Lover Man. Now David doing the same in and on Hard Times, and also Hoagie's Georgia on My Mind. Having opened with Billy's Bounce, as whites, blacks, yellows, and browns of Cowtown's crowd mill around or in portable seats shake their heads and tap their feet to the quartet's driving beat. Out of reach of the shadow of Will Rogers Coliseum, across from the Kimball Art Museum. Here for this cowboy and culture promotional scheme, a city manager's dream, to celebrate the Lone Star's native sons, to generate a few jobs and a bit of income for local citizens, the majority in shorts, and most everyone sports a pair of shades from the sun's late September blaze. As even in these autumn days, it just keeps burning on, bright and unseasonably strong, with a little of the force of these Texas tenors, blowing yet with might and main, despite age's unrelenting aches and pains, rhythming and improvising a blues, or on pop tunes of Tin Pan Jews, bring joy to all have come to hear, who never knew a Ku Klux fear. Here, one block over from Camp Bowie, the brick-paved street intersects with University, where admission is gratis thanks to Cadillac's major financial grant and to volunteers manning booths, including that Rocky Mountain Beers. causes one to wonder, does hurt and happiness accord with the roots of a minor chord? Can the melodic blend in any song set right a lingering wrong? Seems so to go by the loving it look when these black men cook, with their hard-bought licks, their soulful stratospherics, a look apparent on every listener's face, regardless of race or place of birth, due in part to an elegant auto's corporate worth, but most to elder statesmen hanging on to produce a dateless, priceless tone. Well, I probably should skip. Well, maybe I'll. Yeah, I guess I'll skip that. I was going to read another Maria's poem, Maria's Heart. Should I?
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Maria's heart, or whichever organ it is, hurts from what we miss, bears the tiniest tear in the shape of where she was born to be, in her long, thin native hue. Given up against her will, once love had made her feel through affection's forceful sway, she must forsake it and come away to this foreign place as any African slave, or more like the poor and oppressed, still brave immigrant dangers, as did Irish and Russian Jews, though those of their own volition would choose to take the risk and make the voyage in a cramped, unhealthful steerage. If surviving to land on Ellis Island, arriving hardly to understand the official exam would undergo. If answered wrong, stamped mentally slow. Deported, alone, separated from parents whose family name authorities anglicize, or on Galveston Isle the same, quarantined and lined up all in the nude for delousing by inspectors whose forebears earlier sued to enter the red man's space, any indignity ready to endure, since each and every self, so wonderfully sure in his, her innocent soul, or whatever it is, suffers pain for future bliss. He, she would find freedom's hope fulfilled, but with her longing for home unstilled, her rip from the rift now throbs again, its wound still seeping deep within, and all because I brought her here. Cut her off from a relationship first and forever dear, her maiden name replaced by mine, a Scottish, on paperwork she has had to sign, on her alien card, rude agents review with every trip, since will not surrender her Chilean citizenship. And how does this make me feel? Her having come against her will, oh, torn in two, though in the end, no, she stayed. And as yet no law has passed to send her back again, and so have tried to believe it's right. In the logic versus emotion title fight, decision should go to the breakable heart, if that's the body's loving, irrational heart. This will be the last new poem, and I'd like to read a little bit from the Kenny Dorham book that Joe mentioned. This is of burgers and serpents. However, have another Big Mac with double patties and piggy fries.
So give us that.
Not because her doctor decided to place his patient on a strict, low-fat, low-cholesterol diet, but because her dear child died from innocent rattlesnake bites. Always on passing golden arches or the registered DK sign, I think of that San Antonio mother whose daughter played outside on the plastic recreational slides while her mother waited inside for their fast food soon to arrive. Then just before it was ready, she was there beside her mom, sobbing and saying, "My leg, it hurt." Where, she asked, then saw forever purple bruises the mosquitoes made, believing so when the ardor came, till her darling girl lay quietly down. On his going out to inspect the set, the manager would find their nest, disturbed by her sweet little thing. Oh, how after that could she ever get on with the rest of her envenomed life? How ever go on eating or breathing with those fang marks day and night?